Now we will be discussing the second kingdom, which is Protista. Now Protista can be simply understood as they are unicellular eukaryotes. Unicellular eukaryotes. Unicellular means they are single cell. So all the protists will have just one cell. Eukaryotes. The word EU stands for true, and karyon stands for nucleus. So those organisms in which the nucleus is not of the primitive type, it is true nucleus. They are said to possess true nucleus. So that is why they are called eukaryotes. So protistans are unicellular eukaryotes. Now there are several groups of protistans that you will be studying in class 11, but now just to have a basic idea, you don't need to worry about it, you don't need to memorize it. Just if you have a basic idea at this stage, it will be very easy for you when you reach class 11 to memorize things, because it will be so familiar to you that you will think, oh, it is so easy. So let us see. You don't need to worry about that. For just the knowledge sake, the first group is chrysophytes. The second group is dinoflagellates. The third is euglenoids. Fourth is slime molds. And fifth is protozoans. So chrysophytes are photosynthetic protists, means they perform photosynthesis. Okay, and examples of this are diatoms and desmids. Just to be familiar, okay? For you, it was just till here. Now here, to just become familiar with the class 11 topics, so that it will become very easy for you when you reach there. Dinoflagellates, there is an example, Goniolax. Actually, sometimes you might have seen that they show the pictures of the sea becoming red or blue or green. What causes the sea to turn red? It is actually the dinoflagellates. They have different color pigments present in them, which makes the color of water appear red or green or blue. So that is dinoflagellates. Next is euglenoids. Euglenoids are such kind of protist which can be photosynthetic also, and it can have a holozoic mode of nutrition also. Means they can photosynthesize in the presence of light. So when you give light to euglenoids, they will make their own food, they will photosynthesize. But when they are deprived of sunlight, when the sunlight is not available to them, what will happen? They will become like an animal, they will eat. They will engulf other animals. They will follow the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So that is interesting fact about euglenoids. Next is slime molds. They are a kind of structure which produce certain spores. They form plasmodium, a structure under unfavorable conditions. Okay, so I'll make it simple. When unfavorable conditions come, okay, they have to synthesize, they have to produce such structures which will be able to overcome those periods of stress. So they make spores. Spores are actually those structures which can survive under very stressful conditions. So these slime molds produce spores when unfavorable conditions arrive. But when favorable conditions are available, means all the conditions are for the slime molds to develop, then they develop into a aggregate structure like plasmodium, that is called plasmodium. Okay, this plasmodium Plasmodium is very different from the Plasmodium which causes malaria. Plasmodium is a parasite which causes malaria in human beings. But that is very different from this Plasmodium, because this Plasmodium is an aggregate of slime mold. That aggregation, we have given the name Plasmodium to that aggregation. But that Plasmodium is a parasite. So these two are different structures. Next is protozoans. Amoeba. Who has not heard of amoeba? Amoeba is very familiar, right? Because it has no shape. You can draw it. This is also amoeba. Okay, this is also amoeba. So it is very simple to draw. I have drawn two amoeba here. So it is very simple to draw. That is why we are very familiar with amoeba, and it can be found in any water, any pond. You take the water from a pond and then you observe it under a microscope, and you will see many amoeba floating there. It has false feet, like these are the pseudopodia. Pseudopodia, which are present in amoeba. It is a nucleus. Okay, then it engulfs. Like suppose a food comes here, then it will throw its pseudopodia around it. Okay, like a food comes here, so then what will happen? It will throw its pseudopodia around it. Shit, man, what happened? Marker. Okay, this it has thrown its pseudopodia around the food, and after that it will engulf the food. So this is, it has engulfed the food inside itself, and so it is called the food vacuole. Food vacuole. The structure is amoeba. The structure is amoeba, and it is a food vacuole. It has engulfed these food particles, and now the digestive enzymes will digest this food. So these are the 5 classes of protistans. Protozoa. In protozoa, amoeba is an example. Paramecium. Paramecium. Okay, and there are other examples. The names are very big, so you don't need to. You will get frightened after. So don't go into the name now. But this is the basic idea of all the groups coming under the kingdom Protista. Now, protistans are unicellular eukaryotes. So they can have, they can photosynthesize. I told you eukaryotes can photosynthesize also, and it can behave like a heterotroph also. So they can have those photosynthetic pigments like chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the photosynthetic pigment. So they can have that, they may not have that also. So this was about the kingdom Protista. The next kingdom is fungi. So you will be seeing the kingdom fungi in my next video. Please subscribe my channel for seeing the next video.